Okay, so this video is about muscle scraping. We've talked about how to use the Voodoo Band. We've talked about how to use all these tools to roll out trigger points and how to pinpoint trigger points. But you also have this other great tool that I want to add to your repertoire. It's a muscle scraping technique. And so what I've got here is a tool by Sidekick. This is a scraping tool, and this is stone. This is very easy to break if I drop it, but it's also very firm. And so I'm going to just demonstrate real quick how to scrape tissues. For those of you with like tennis elbow or elbow problems, listen up because I'm targeting that area. So this tool can get infected by stuff. So I'm not ever putting it down on the ground. I'm putting it on I've got a special little case here. So I'm keeping it safe and I'm not sharing it with anyone. If you shared it with anyone, you'd have to disinfect it, all right? So this, I'm keeping it clean and only for my use. So there's this special mint balm, and I'm just gonna put this on my inner arm here, where I plan to scrape. Okay, so I'm just getting up around my elbow. We're not scraping out bone here, we're scraping out tissue. So I'm just gonna go ahead and lather up that area. All right, so now I'm lathered up. Let's do some scraping. All right, so I'm gonna use this edge right here. I can use any edge I want. This could maybe be for a little bit more pinpoint work. This is for more broad. I'm gonna start broad. Okay, so with this Sidekick tool angled at about 30 degrees from my skin surface, I'm gonna start by scraping away from the joint. And immediately this feels really cool. Now this is an area that I've scraped before, so it may get red, it may not get red. It should be in pretty healthy state, but already I can start to see it's starting to get red. So I'm scraping away at a 30-degree angle. And how long am I gonna scrape for? Well, similar to when I'm rolling out my body with these tools and when I'm working on mobilization techniques, I'm going to scrape for 2 minutes. I find that 2 minutes is the minimum for seeing a quality change. And here, I'm being very strict with my scrapes. I'm not going up and down like this. I'm being intentional and I'm focusing on scraping through the muscle tissue this way. And now I'm going to change my stroke. Now I'm going to angle it the other way. I'm just going to wipe off some of the balm, and now I'm going back up. So there are little bumps on your muscle tissue, on your scar tissue, on your fascia that are preventing your muscles from stretching to their fullest and stretching properly or moving properly. So what I'm doing right now is I'm just flattening those out. I'm smoothing those out. And when that system is more smooth, it functions better. So that's the point of this scraping. To improve the function around the joint, we're scraping open the muscle tissues. I first experienced this with my acupuncturist. She was scraping open areas around my neck, and it was very effective. And I decided, you know what, I'd like to get into understanding this technique and how to do it to myself. So this area is becoming nice and red, as you can see. We're getting increased blood flow to this area, and we know that increased blood flow means faster healing or quicker healing, quicker recovery. And so now that I've kind of gone down, I've gone up, now I can get a little bit more pinpoint. So now right around the elbow, I can get in there. I'm just kind of wiggling through it, getting all that tissue that's knotted down, that's matted down, that's tight, to open up. I'm increasing blood flow in that area. Oh yeah, opening it up. If you have pain when you're doing pull-ups, if you have pain when you're doing muscle-ups, if you have pain when you're gripping things and pulling, you've got to try this out. You can mobilize the area for 2 minutes by rolling it out with a lacrosse ball, with a softball, with a kettlebell, So you roll it out for a couple minutes, that gets the tissue ready for scraping. So I like to massage and then scrape. 2 minutes massage and then 2 minutes scrape. I always like, after doing this pinpoint work, and I can use a sharper edge, I can get in there with a sharper edge. I can flip it around, I can get in there with the other side. After I'm done that pinpoint work, I like to just smooth it all out. And there we have it. We've smoothed it out. We're feeling good. And we're moving well. So you can see the increased blood flow there. We might see a little bit of bruising that kind of looks like a hickey afterwards. That's all right. That's just tissue that needed to be released, tissue that needed to be opened up, and tissue that needed to be improved. Don't be scared of that. If you don't get that hickey bruise afterwards, that means the area is pretty darn healthy and you're really just maintaining the fitness of this region of the joint, or this region around the joint. So there we go. That's scraping. You can do scraping on your neck. You have headaches, you have tight neck muscles, you can release the scalenes, the sternocleidomastoids. These are muscles that run here. You can release the trap muscles. You can change the way you're holding this to hook around. So instead of being in this broad surface right here, I can hook. I can go ahead and hook the muscle tissue and scrape, and that is very effective as well. So I love this tool. It's got all these special fancy angles. I can even get into my hand. I've got a sore spot in here from training calisthenics. I can work into my hand. So you can work everywhere. I've done the bottoms of my feet. I've done my soleus muscle. I've done my calves. I've done my hamstrings. I can do my adductors. I can do my quads. I can do my IT band and my outer thigh. I can get into tight muscles around the pecs. I've done my whole pec. It feels amazing. I've done my anterior shoulder, biceps, triceps, forearms, inside of the forearms, the wrist flexors, triceps. One thing I love about this hook is when I can't quite reach and I'm kind of hugging myself here, I can flip it over and hook around into that tricep. I've gotten my lats myself. This tool is so versatile. I love it. Definitely a tool you want to put in your recovery toolbox. And again, my method is massaging the area for 2 minutes, then immediately getting that balm on and scraping that area for 2 minutes. So that 2 minutes of massage and 2 minutes of scraping seems to be very effective for releasing tight tissue in and around that joint. All right, good luck, have fun using this tool.